Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Paxie, and welcome to Crochet or Coffee, Craft, and Chill with Paxie. Hi, Nova. So, um, for those who don't know, I am a crocheter. I like to crochet a lot of amigurumi. I've done some hats, some blankets, stuff like that. I've been crocheting since I was about 12 years old. My great grandmother Edna taught me how to crochet. And now I'm just gonna be doing some crochet, hanging out with you guys. Do you have any questions? I can answer questions, and we'll see how this goes. For everybody that can hear me, how's the music? Is it too loud? Am I too loud? Cheers, by the way. Which, if you're interested in what kind of coffee I'm drinking, do exclamation point coffee in the chat. Also, the pattern I'm going to be doing today is exclamation point pattern. Both very quiet. Okay. Well, there. I've moved closer to the microphone, and I've moved the microphone slightly so it's facing me a little bit more. Is that better? My stream setup is thrown together with duct tape and some glue, and that's about it. So, as you can see, we have the hand camera here, so you can kind of see my hands while I'm working. Over to my right, you'll see me looking over here every now and then because that's where my pattern is, and I actually need to be able to see the pattern because I've never done this one before. On this side, I have my coffee, which if you put exclamation point coffee in the chat, you'll find out what I'm drinking today. I have more coffee. Yes, this is full of coffee. I probably won't drink all of it. And then also, for hydration reasons, we have a giant thing of water with a bunch of stickers on it. Most of these are stickers that I've gotten from friends at various markets that I do, and then other ones are just ones that I've found other places. So I still have some room left on here, so I might be able to add some more at some point. All right, so if you didn't see the bang path, we are doing a Cactus Cat pattern by, oh gosh, I've already forgotten the person's name. Let me scroll up here. Fuzzle Forms, that's who it is, Fuzzle Forms. They have a bunch of Cactus Cat patterns. I actually bought, the link that's in there will send you to the specific one that I'm working on today, but they have a bundle of like 4 Cactus Cats that they've made, and Cactus Cat is a type of cryptid, and I love making cryptids, so I'm doing that today. Started this off earlier so I could see what it looked like when I was crocheting, but magic ring, very simple, just make a little loop like that, stick your hook in, pull a loop up. And my pattern here says 8 single crochet in a magic ring. So our music is by Chillhop Music. They have a bunch of DMCA free music that you can use if you become a creator with them. There's a link in chat right now because I have a timer set up to remind people of that. I've already lost count of my stitches. This is going well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this pattern, it says it does a joined round rather than continuous, so instead of just completely going in a circle and never stopping, I will be doing a join here. So there's my join, and then a chain 1, and then moving on to my next row. But I'm also going to use a stitch marker because I'll lose where I am with this. I mean, look at this. There we go. I was saying in chat before this started, I had a slight snafu with my yarn winder, which is slightly off screen. You can't see it right here. I don't know if anybody else has ever worked with Big Twist Posh, but it gets very staticky. And if you're trying to wind it into a cake for whatever reason, you will, if you stop, the static electricity will just launch the yarn off the cake. I'm not kidding. That's what happened. And then it got twisted around the spinner itself, so I had to unravel a bunch of it, and it's a thing. It doesn't happen to me with like the thicker Bernat blanket yarns, but always happens to me with the Posh, and I'm very, very sad because, of course, Big Twist is a Joanne product, and Joanne is dead. The store, not a person. Just to clarify. There we go. Make sure my little tail here is on the inside rather than on the outside of my project. So as it says in chat, I have an Instagram for my shop, which is called Cryptids, Cuties, and Chaos. I probably should have named the channel that, but that didn't seem as fun for some reason. Because I am your internet Auntie Paxie, I am here with advice if you need it. Probably not great advice, but you can give it a try. I do have an Etsy store. I don't have a link to it up right now because there's nothing in it. I think one of the reasons I decided to start doing this channel is to like get myself out there and try and give myself a reason to get the shop going again. Because if people like stuff, I'll put it up in the shop. Okay, did I get 16 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I went 2 stitches too many. There we go. All right. Okay, so crocheting, very soothing. There are people who can just look at you while they crochet and just stare you down in the eyes and everything. I can't do that. I have to look at what I'm doing. You'd think, since I've been crocheting since I was 12 and I'm going to be 39 in October, that I'd be able to just look at you while I'm doing it. But no, I have to look down at least every now and then. Can't see him, but on my bed behind me is my cat Bandit. He's sleeping. He or my cat Pepper will probably jump up and be on camera at some point because they're both crazy cats. Okay, did I do a double? Yes, I did. Okay. One of the things crocheting will teach you is that no, you don't actually know how to count. Oh, Nova, I think I told you that I was working on a pattern for my own little Fresno Nightcrawler plush. Did I tell you about that? I think I told you about that. I don't remember what I tell you half the time. Trying to make sure I keep my hands on the camera. Can't remember if you told me what. Okay. So my partner, soon to be wife, Kit, she did this really cute drawing of a Fresno Nightcrawler that she's hoping to get made into either a charm or a sticker. I don't remember which one. And I thought to myself, I bet I could make one that looks like her drawing. Da, 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 da. So this is the Fresno Nightcrawler that I made based on Kit's drawing. He's not perfect. I can already tell some things that I want to try to fix in another one, but yes, look at his little feet. The feet were a big thing that I had to figure out because her drawing is so cute. I will send it to you later. I don't have it on my computer to share it anywhere. But yeah, he's very squishy. He got them little legs. He's just a little pal looking to get snacks. Very happy with him. But yeah, there's a couple things I want to do differently. Like, I think his head is a little too weird. Like, I feel like I should have made his head a little bit bigger and rounder somehow. So I'm going to work on that. But the important thing is that I remembered to write things down as I was doing them. So I have a Word document full of everything that I did while I was making it, which if I don't do that, I will never remember what I did. Mm-hmm. So today's coffee in my nice little Twitch mug is Blue Healer by Collectivo. They are a not really like I would say local, but they're like Wisconsin and I think Illinois, maybe some other. They're very very Midwestern, and I love their Blue Healer coffee. Well, he's supposed to be pants like. The Fresno Nightcrawler is literally a walking pair of pants. I do think he needs a little bit of a head. I'm gonna consult with Kit when she gets home from work. Try to remember to keep my hands down so the hand cam is actually being used. Got my yarn off to the side here in a bag because I'm running out of space for yarn. So they said light green yarn, and I guess this is considered light green. The color isn't great with the way my lighting is in here. That's something to work on later. But the name of this is where is it? This is Lime Glow from Big Twist Posh, which sadness. I'm really, really hoping with my heart of hearts that Big Twist somehow finds a way to just sell their yarn by themselves because if they don't, I'm going to lose most of the yarn I use. But yeah, the pattern asks for a light green yarn and then a dark green. And with the dark green, I'm going with this one here, which is Bok Choy. Their kale yarn is really pretty too, but it's super dark. It's a lot darker than this one. So then I've got some yellow, some pinks. And like I said, I've never done this pattern before, so we'll see how this goes. I gave it a skim over because I feel like you should always at least look over your pattern. I have a bag of yarn for you too as well. It's all parfait. So next weekend? Question mark. I feel like we said next weekend. Okay, good. Yep, planning on it. My next few weekends are so booked. This weekend, my partner and I are, my yarn fell, no. My partner and I are having Auntie Day with our niece, who actually was like, "Can I have an Auntie Day?" And I forgot what I was doing, so I think I'm doing an extra row of something I'm not supposed to. Yes, that is what's happening. Okay. Okay. What's the next row? Single crochet in. Okay. But yeah, her mom gave us a text and was like, "Hey, Ellie wants an Auntie Day," and we're like, "Hell yes, we'll do Auntie Day with Ellie." Probably shouldn't be naming the kid on the internet. Shh, don't tell him. I feel so bad. The last time we had Auntie Day, I got the kidlet a Woobles craft kit because they keep saying on the website that they are for beginners. Apparently, I bought the one that wasn't for beginners. I got the unicorn one, and the poor kid was so confused, and I was confused trying to teach it to him. So I'm like, you know what? We'll figure something out. Let's go with the first one, Nova. I tried to come up with some good placeholders. I know Mod Kayla over at Skulls and Cupcakes just calls her niece, and then her brothers are brother one and brother two. Oh, Niesling's good. I like Niesling. Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust the chat bot because I think that's like the third or fourth time it's told you guys about the crochet projects. My goodness. Or the Instagram. That is a good word. Niesling it is. So Niesling. I have it on a 1 minute timer or not set to shuffle through multiple messages. Probably not because I just realized earlier today that I could do that. Like, I knew I could do it, I just forgot about it. So I set it up haphazardly before I started streaming and right after work. So it's the first stream on this channel. There's going to be things that need to be adjusted. All right, we're looking good so far. Got nice roundness. I love the way I've only found out this recently. Usually, when you do a increase after like an even number of stitches, sometimes where the increase is, it's like it's bent a little like that. And then people started doing um, for this one they do it's supposed to be 2 stitches in between an increase. So the way they started this one is they started it with one single crochet, then the increase, and then you do another single crochet, but then it turns into basically just 2 single crochets increase, and it's very nice. And then it just ends with another regular single crochet, and then basically all the way around you have 2 single crochets in between all of your increases. Okay. Yeah, we haven't streamed on Skulls and Cupcakes in forever, so there's a lot of things that I know how to do, but I keep forgetting to do. Like right before I started, I realized that my microphone, which is right here, was picking up the music from my computer, and I'm like, oh, I have a baffle board for that. Which I took a picture of my kind of jank setup over here, and I'll probably post that to Instagram later. Gotta adjust how I'm sitting because my back's starting to hurt. There we go. Lean back a little bit. Pull the chair forward, lean back. There we go. So this is my bedroom slash home office slash small business warehouse. I'm basically in here most of the day. I work from home. Behind my laptop here is what I'm streaming from, is my work setup, and I'm not using any of that because it's for work. My yarn fell again. Yarn, please. The problem is that I center pull, and then that just pulls the entire skein of yarn wherever you're pulling at. So we probably should get into doing the outside pull with the spinny thing. I think so too, except recently I've been having a problem with, again, big twist yarn, where I think I'm pulling the center out, but it's actually the end from the outside that they have just shoved so deep into the middle with a long, long tail that no, I'm actually crocheting with that and I'm not pulling from the center. So for the sake of my own sanity, I may have to get one of those like spindle thingies that you just like put your yarn on and it goes woo. I do have a yarn bowl. This is my yarn bowl. It doesn't work with giant skeins of Posh though, so, but there you go. I got this on Etsy. If I remember, I will post where I got it at some point. I'm going to cough, so I'm going to mute my mic real quick as soon as my mouth starts working. There we go. Nova, you got your app in for the big game market, right? I did too. And then one of my coworkers is planning on. They have applied, and they're hopefully going to. They're hopefully going to do this as their first mark. I think it'd be a really good one for them. We'll see what happens. And then Scorpio's doing a May Day market, so I put in for that one. I don't know if I'll probably be doing that alone for reasons. Secret reasons. Not really secret reasons. My wife works at a place where she needs to be as nonpartisan as possible, so. Yeah, you will hear me call Kit various things. Beloved, darling dear, my wife, my fiance. We're not married yet. That's going to happen this November. I'm so excited. We're getting married at the Wisconsin Masonic Center in downtown Madison, and it's such a beautiful building. And I was so happy because Kit loves that building. The architecture is amazing. And I was just so happy when we were able to get that. I stopped increasing at some point because I was jabbering. Where did I do that at? Right here. It's okay to frog things, people. In the words of Flogging Molly, nothing ever came from a life that was a simple one. Pull yourself together, girl, and have a little fun. Gotta love Flogging Molly. One of the best concerts I ever went to was Flogging Molly in Madison back in 2017, I think. Katie got us tickets for my birthday, and it was great. Okay, there we go. I'm back on track now. So we are currently 6 rows? No, 5 rows. No, I was right the first time. 6 rows into the Cactus Cat. Looking pretty good. Yes, and I was like, I'm on their Patreon, so I already know. Patreon is a very useful thing. Maybe I'll do a Patreon if this channel works out. I don't know what I would offer people. Alrighty, so. Did I actually do the stitch? No, I didn't. That's the problem. Okay. Close it because I couldn't get up with it. That's legit. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I sometimes have problems, especially if I'm working in like a continuous spiral, like figuring out where the rows are. It's a little bit easier with this because I'm doing the join and continue rather than just the spiral. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick another stitch marker right here. If it wants to go in, there we go. And then I know that this is going to be round 7 and I need to get to round 9. So I can just think a little bit less about it and just know where I'm at. It works really good for continuous spiral stuff because it's next to impossible to count those rows. If you figured out a different way to do it, please let me know. I'm always interested in how people do things. I have no idea what we're listening to on Chillhop because I just downloaded a ton of stuff, threw it into a music player, and have it going. I do not know how to make it show up on the bottom of the screen and tell you what it is because I don't. Look, I make things out of yarn. I'm not a tech person. I'm the person that my family calls when there's problems with their tech, but that's the extent of my knowledge. It's looking pretty good. From what the picture looks like, I'm making the body right now. I think that's what this said. Yes. And it looks like the face is just like little bobble stitches, so that'll be fun. Telling somebody I hold my yarn like somebody holds a cigarette. That's how I usually hold my yarn. I'm trying to get better with doing it this way. So I'm like holding onto the piece with my fingers right here, and then this finger is helping keep tension. I can do it sometimes, I just forget to, and I've tried tension rings and they just don't work for me. See, I'm already back to holding it the way I was, so. I remarked to somebody once that when my great grandmother Enda taught me how to crochet way back when, she didn't actually teach me how to hold the yarn, or if she did, I don't remember. Again, I was like 12, 13, and I'm 39 now, so. Well, I'll be 39 in October. I'm 38 right now. So my wife kind of introduced me to cactus cats because she loves cats and cacti. And I love cryptids, so I make a lot of cryptid stuff. I don't have any cryptids that I've made nearby other than the Fresno Nightcrawler I showed off a little bit earlier. But yeah, I was pleased to find that Cactus Cat is considered a cryptid. So I'm making some cactus cats to sell somewhere. Probably at the Big Gay Pride Market if I get in. Okay, now I gotta try and adjust it because if I hold it like this too long, my wrist starts to hurt. So it's like I gotta seriously focus on how I'm holding my yarn now. All right, so Looking a little good so far. I got a little bit of a weird bump right here, but I don't know if you can see how there. You can kind of see it there. Kind of like swoops up a little bit, but you know what? It's gonna look adorable no matter what. So let the small imperfections stay. Okay. I think the next loop is, or the next round is how I'm going to be making the mouth, which I haven't picked out eyes for the. Said anything to me I missed it. I had to take a work call. No, I'm just jabbering to myself. Sometimes talking to myself is the only good conversation I get until you get on Discord or my wife gets home. So, but yeah, I'm just going through and I think the next round is going to be the mouth on the Cactus Cat. And I haven't picked out eyes yet, which you can't see it. Well, hold on. Let me do some adjusting here real quick. Behold, the eye wall. Probably something from up here. Alright, can I get that adjusted back to where it was? Or at least kind of? Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, I have a lot of eyes. And like, each one of those drawers has at least 3 sections in it, so yeah. And then I got into felt eyes, which is just a whole thing. Felt eyes are super cute, but they're way more labor intensive because you have to glue them on and make sure the glue isn't showing and all that. And I can honestly say that isn't even all of my eyes. It's most of them, though. I do have a smaller, like, little tackle box kind of thing that I keep some eyes in. Then, if I'm going to your place or if I'm just going somewhere, I have eyeballs on me if I need them. I keep it out in the living room right now because I don't always want to have to run back into my room to grab eyeballs if I forgot to pick some out. Which this pattern suggests like just plain old black ovals. Let me see here. Come here. I think these ones will be really cute for Cactus Cat. What do you guys think? Oh, a couple of these drawers are just filled with washers for the safety eyes, so there's more than just eyes. Okay, is that the right size? Yep, okay. The drawers that I have the eyeballs in, I actually have another smallish one. There were 2 sets of drawers there. There was a small one on top and then a bigger one on the bottom. I have another smaller one on my shelf behind me, and that's all full of silicone beads. Because I started doing that. That was a mistake. They're so fun though. It's just so cozy. It's nice to do. Which are some of the ones those that I made in like reaching distance? They are. No, but I got one. I don't know if I showed you this one, but I know you'll like it. Ta-da! Made that one recently. The person I get some of the silicone character beads had, they sell in like packs of 5 or something, but of course they didn't have packs of 5. They had 2, and I bought both of them. So there's a pen, and then there's this keychain. Oh, what else do I have in here? Oh, Katie told me that this one was just like the right amount of unhinged. I like that one. Nova, do I need to save you the Amy Rose one? I can save you the Amy Rose one if you want it. I'll trade for something. You know me, I'll trade for just about anything. I traded crocheted Kirby with Taco Cat for some birthday presents for Bandit because his birthday is on Thursday. Bandit, you're gonna be 5. Are you paying attention at all? No? Okay. He's on the bed. If it doesn't sell, then we can talk. Okay. I feel bad. I don't like Amy Rose. I think it's because she was always so annoying and borderline stalker. And I know they're trying to get her to be better. I really, really hope in the movie that she is much better than she was. I'm gonna top off my coffee here because it's getting cold. I'm glad I have a carafe because I'd find a way to honestly, I mostly like her because people don't like her. That's legit. I mean, that's part of the reason I love Infinite so much. Nobody likes him as a villain, and I thought he was a great villain. Love me some Infinite. All right. 18 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because misogyny. That's legit. Like, I don't agree with people who don't like her because she's a girl. I don't like her because she was annoying. Very annoying. And I've forgotten where I was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm my only mod. I'm my only mod. Nothing's working for me right now, so. Boom. Thanks, Nova. I appreciate you. You know what? I'm honestly just happy that one time Kit and I were streaming together on Skulls and Cupcakes, and somebody came in and just started saying some of the most racist and bigotist and disgusting stuff in our chat, and oh, I hated that so much. I forgot what I was doing again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, I made a bunch of stitches that I'm not ready for. Okay. Alright, so front loop only, half double crochet, chain 1, 2 loop bobble, okay. Are you sure about that? Okay, alright. Can I just take a moment and tell people that all of you who put really good pictures in your patterns, I love you. Because sometimes what you write down does not compute in my brain the way you mean it. So I appreciate the pictures that I'm seeing here that tell me, okay, they say 2 loops, but they are not counting the first loop from the last stitch as one of the loops. So that's fine. I know what I'm doing. Alright, so that's chain 1, slip stitch in same chain, and then do that again. I thank you for using your sword responsibly, Nova. This is a lot to fit in one stitch. My goodness. Okay. Goodness gracious. All right. Sorry, looking at my pattern, making sure I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I got that slip stitch, right? Yep. All right, and then the next one, I have to do this twice. So half double crochet, chain one, bobble stitch, chain one, slip stitch. Oh, you know what? I think I did this wrong. Looking at the pictures, I definitely did this wrong. And you know what? That's okay. So what I did was these two that are right here. There we go. There's only supposed to be one in that one stitch, and then I'm supposed to go over to the next stitch and do the second one. So that's okay. All right, there's the bobble. So chain one, slip stitch, go over to the next one. This is another reason that good pictures are amazing, because if not for the pictures I'm looking at over here, I wouldn't have known until it was way too late that I was doing something wrong. Okay, so now we gotta do there we go. Oh, come on, get in there. All right, and then 18 more single crochet. So if I did this right, there will be 18 more single crochet between here and the end. Nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and I think there's an extra stitch here. Did I miscount? Oh, I did miscount. Okay, we're fine. I miscounted. See what I tell you? You start learning how to crochet, and you also learn that you can't count. Okie dokie. Let's see. Attach eyes between round 9 and 10. Okay. So I guess this is like the cat's lips or something. It kind of looks like a little Cthulhu right now, doesn't it? I'm hoping once I add more on here, he'll look a little less, you know, Elder God. But before we do that, we got to deal with this, which I've had in the past some of my eyeballs pop out of things. And yeah, isn't he? He's super cute. I've had some eyeballs pop out of plushies, and it's never good. I've been able to put them back, but I always feel really bad about it. And then I learned about this trick from Instagram. I don't remember where I saw it, but all you do is you take some felt. So I've got some purple felt here. I'm going to cut this little rectangle in half. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a small slit in the middle. So, just enough you can kind of see that it's there. And then I'm going to take my guy here and slip the end of the safety eye through the felt. And then my washer here, which is very, very small. There you go. Oh, there. I have a hand cam. I should use it. So take my washer and snap that in place. And now the felt will help keep the eye in place, which is always nice because, you know, you don't want eyes coming out. I have a collection of little tiny frog plushies that I call the Ribbit Rumblers because the first one, the eye popped out when I was done making it, and I just decided that was, I think, One-Eyed McGee or something like that. And then I just came up with a bunch of other ones, and they're now a small gang. There we go. So we've got our felt behind between our washers and the safety eye, and hopefully the eyes will stay in place. Alrighty, on to the next row. Okay. 2 rows of single crochet around. It doesn't say this, but I believe what they'll want me to do is, so these little lumpy bits here I did in the front loop. So I'm guessing what they're going to want me to do is on the next round just crochet into the back loop that's left behind. The pattern doesn't say that, but that's what I'm going to do. I have just recently started using a size G, so 4.5 crochet hook with this yarn. Usually I usually start with whatever yarn they tell you, or whatever size hook they tell you to on the yarn label, and then I just slowly work my way down, and now I'm down to this, which I keep seeing patterns where people say, yeah, use a super tiny hook with your super thick yarn. That's going to be great. And I'm like, do you want my hands to break off? Do you want my wrists to suffer? And I don't think they do, but... And now I'm learning that it just takes a little while to get used to it. Don't mind me, I'm just vibing. Oh, I put in to do a pattern test for Bardic Trinkets. Bardic Trinkets is the one who did, well, he's right behind me, the Sonic pattern I did. Or Sonic pattern I made. No, I lied. This is not the one by Bardic Trinkets. I'm so sorry. This is somebody else, but Bardic Trinkets has a really cute Sonic pattern that I have made, and it turns out really cute. Anyway, she's put out a call for pattern testers for one of her patterns, and I might, if I do get chosen as a tester, I might ask if I could do it on the stream. If it's one of those things that she wants to keep, that she wants kept secret until it's released, then no, I won't. I will find time to crochet for pattern testing. All right. So here we are. We're back at the little lumpy bits, and then what I'm going to do is there is the back loop here. So crochet there, and then the other back loop is right here. And then I'll just go right along into the next stitch and continue on. It does give it a little bit more shape. It's a weird shape, but you know, weird shapes are shapes. We're all weirdly shaped if you think about it. So for those of you who don't know, I'm originally from New York State. I grew up in western New York down by the Pennsylvania border. Little county called Allegheny. I just say Allegheny County because I lived in most of the towns in Allegheny County for at least a little while. And a lot of my family still lives back there. And over Thanksgiving last year, Katie and I went and visited my family. And while I was there, I presented my uncle, who was basically like a second dad to me, because I lived with him and his then wife for like my senior year of high school, and he was a better dad to me than my actual biological father. So while I was there, I presented him with a little box that contained a camouflage tie, a camouflage pocket square, and then some cufflinks and a tie bar that had little PlayStation controllers on them because he used to play a lot of he used to like playing baseball on the PlayStation 2. And I told him, like, I'm getting married. I have 2 arms. Fred, my stepfather, who is also really good dad, is going to be on one arm, and I would like you very much to be on the other. And he said yes. That's always nice. Like, I didn't think he'd say no, but you never know. And I called to talk to him recently, and he was like, I gotta ask you about the dress code for the wedding. I'm like, okay, we're mostly doing business casual, just if you want to wear jeans, go ahead and wear jeans. Just, I'm asking no rips in the jeans. And he's like, no, it's not that. Did you want me to wear a camouflage suit? And I'm like, no, Uncle Doug, if you wear a camouflage suit, nobody's going to be able to see you. So, no, I told him no, he does not have to wear a camouflage suit. His girlfriend Lisa was in the background, and she's like, do I have to wear a dress? I'm like, I am not going to make you wear a dress. The thing with my wedding is that it's going to be cool and chill and comfortable, so I'm not, if I have my 2 cousins. They both have small ones, nibblings, and the nibblings are going to be in my wedding. And I have told them both, one is a boy and one is a girl, so we're going to have a flower boy and a ring girl. And I've told them both that if all we're requiring is clothing, so please show up in clothing. That's all we want. And if the girl wants to show up in a cowboy boots and a pink tutu, that's perfectly fine. And if the boy wants to show up in cowboy boots and a pink tutu, that is also perfectly fine. Just want you to show up and be wearing clothing. That's it. I did tell my stepdad that if he wanted to, he could dress up as like one of the Blues Brothers for my wedding because uh Katie loves the Blues Brothers. I've only seen the movie once and I saw it late in my life, so it's not one of those core memories for me like it is for her. I do like their music. But I guess we found out over Thanksgiving that my stepdad, Fred, really likes the Blues Brothers, which was funny because, as kind of a joke, after I told him he could dress like one of the Blues Brothers for the wedding, I got him a copy of the Blues Brothers movie for Christmas. And we had been talking about it on the ride from the airport to their house when we visited for Thanksgiving. And then I gave him the gifts a little bit later because I don't always get to see them open their gifts because they live in New York and I live in Wisconsin. And he's like, did you go out and get these after we talked about it? I'm like, oh no, I bought these beforehand. I also got him Deadpool and Wolverine, so I need to ask, one, if he's actually watched them yet, and if he has, what he thought of it. Deadpool and Wolverine is the perfect romance movie, y'all. It really is. It's the greatest love story of our time. Alrighty. Okay, so, we're gonna start decreasing now. This doesn't say anything about doing invisible decreases, which, they're fine, I just never remember to do them, so, whatever. Okay, 2 single crochets, decrease, so... That's another thing with my guy over here, my math was not mathing right when I made him, so a couple of things are definitely off, but I figured it out and written it down in the pattern for next time. So the decreases up here kind of got strange. I think when I do it again, not if, when I do it again, I'm going to like add a row of just single crochets between each decrease row, and I think that'll round his head off a little bit better. But also I need to get I have some pink yarn, just put on some little blush right here. Yeah, like right here. Alrighty, so 1, 2. If anybody's interested in what an invisible decrease is, at least how I do it, this is my understanding of it. You just go into the front loops of your stitch, which I think that's showing on the hand cam. Come on, get in there. And then that's it. For some reason, that's considered invisible. I might be doing it wrong, I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. I don't. I am the person who knits wrong and knows they knit wrong and just keeps doing it anyway. Like when I knit continental style because I learned how to crochet before I learned how to knit. So basically I use 2 knitting needles like most people would use a crochet hook. So like if this was the crochet hook, I just use the hook, the needle to like pull my yarn through. I don't know. Apparently that's not how that's supposed to work. But because of that, I also purl weird, and my because of that, my stockinette stitches, which is where you do the row of knitting and then row of purling, and it makes like a little V. Mine always end up twisted, and I just like the look of it, so I don't care. And I did it again. I forgot. I got to jabbering and didn't realize I needed to do another decrease here. Interesting if we can get this done in an entire stream. My plan is to go until about 5 o'clock our time, so about another hour. That's around the time my wife will be getting home from work. Keep going back and forth on whether I'm going to try and like start out just do this weekly or if this is going to be a daily thing. I don't know. It won't be a weekend thing because I got stuff to do. Like, I got to talk with Katie and figure out what we're doing for Auntie Day with Kidling. Seem to have done something wrong because I don't have enough stitches to finish out what I need to finish. So let me see here. Now, the real question is, I'm supposed to have, how many? 30 stitches at the end of this? So, if I still have 30 stitches, did I really do something wrong? A question for the ages. Let's see, do I have 30 stitches or do I need to make something up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I still have 30 stitches, so we're not going to worry about it. I know for a fact on the Fresno Nightcrawler I just made that there's one row where I needed another stitch gone and it was at a decrease, so I just decreased over 3 stitches and called it a day. There's definitely a little gap where I did that, but we're not going to worry about it. That's the prototype. Alright, what do we got next? Okay. 3 crochet and then a decrease, alright? Okay. Apparently I've dropped 59 frames throughout this, which doesn't surprise me. I'm streaming from a Asus laptop. I have it hardwired, so hopefully we don't lose connection too bad, but when I first started streaming video games, I did it right from my PlayStation 4. My oldest stream was back before Katie and I, moved in together. I used to stream Stardew Valley from my PlayStation 4 on Sundays. Hi! Are you scratching on my chair right now? Is that what you're doing? No, you have to pay a tax now. Come here. Hold on. Come here. Nope, you gotta pay the tax. You scratched on the chair, so now you gotta be on camera. Say hi, everybody.
Hello, I am Bandito. Muy necesito. I was scratching on the arm of Mom's chair because Mom is usually out in the living room right now, and she's got her feet up on her ottoman so I can lay in between them. No, She is on the internet right now.
I am on the internet right now. Can you stop scratching on my chair? Please? It's not like a fancy chair, but it's the only one I've got. Okay? Do you want down? All right, go on. Do not jump into the garbage can that's under my desk. Here. Come on. I put this under here for you to lay on, and you're not doing it. Okay. No, I emptied the garbage because I know how you are. I cannot put cupcake wrappers in the garbage can that's under my desk because it doesn't have a cover, and he has a thing for cupcake wrappers. Bandit, Nova says hi.
Hello, Nova. I'm under the desk.
All right. Little knucklehead. I have a cube shelf under my desk, and it looks like he went in there for a second, but he's also possibly left. I don't know what he's doing. Hi. I love you. You're a good boy. Basil is also under the desk. Hi, Basil. I just realized I need to follow Skulls and Cupcakes from the Internet Auntie Paxie account so I can actually use my own emotes. We do have a Bandit emote where he's just like peeking up a little bit because that's Bandit to a T. I'm honestly surprised he didn't jump up on my desk and like try and walk over the keyboard because he does that all the time while I'm working. What are you doing? You being weird? I used to have right here a cat bed that was like attached to my desk, but it was up a little bit with the idea that there, the kitty cats can be near me, but they can be up on something. You think they used it? I can't say that. They didn't not use it, but they didn't use it as much as I wanted them to. All right, how many stitches am I supposed to have here? 24? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Wait, what? I may have miscounted again. That happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, I see what I did. There we go. 24. All right. We're good. Okay. Then we got to do 2 single crochets and a decrease again, huh? Interesting. It did say to stuff it before now, but I always, whenever I stuff things, like I'm crocheting and like the stuffing gets caught on my hook and I pull it through, so I try and wait to do that until the last possible moment. All right, we might actually get this most of the way done before 5 o'clock, so that'll be nice. I never know how long it takes me to make anything, because I don't usually pay attention to that, and also I usually tend to do about 5 or 6 different things while I'm crocheting something, so like, let's say I'm at work and it's kind of boring. I will pick up my crocheting, work on it a little bit, then check and see if there's anything to do, and if there isn't, go back to crocheting, and then I'll check my phone, I'll play a game, you know, just a million different things when I really am supposed to be paying attention. Can you not scratch on that? There is a scratchy thing right next to it. Yes, play with your nip rat from Taco Cat. Good job. Kitty cats, man. He wants attention. I know he wants attention. Okay. All right. We're about at the point where I'm going to need to close this up, so we are going to stuff it now. Yeah. Grab it. This is one of my many bags of stuffing. Kit made this one for me because I love nutcrackers and she found nutcracker fabric. It's a project bag, but I also found it works really well to just hold a bunch of stuffing. So if you've made it this far and are interested in what pattern I'm making, exclamation point pattern in the chat, and that will bring that up. There we go. Nice little round guy. Hi, Beast. Are you gonna try and jump up here? If you do, try not to knock over my coffee. Oh, you're gonna be the carpet dragon again? You see him? Oh, Beastie. We call that the carpet dragon. I know it's technically a rug, but carpet dragon like rolls off the tongue better. This camera has not stayed in the same position for this entire stream, and that's okay. Alright, back to work. People are going to come to this stream just to watch you and your antics, buddy. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Alrighty. So we're doing a single crochet and then decrease around on here. And then I'm supposed to seal it off. So honestly what I'll do is after I get this last row done, just give it a little bit more stuffing. Rug dragon sounds painful. Yeah, it does. It really does. Bebopping along as I finish this row. I love Chillhop music and just like lo-fi in general. It's soothing. Alrighty. Grab my little scissors. Scissors that didn't want to cut the yarn the first time. What the heck? Alrighty. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit more in here. You doing good, Bandit? You guard me from stuff? Good boy. This isn't as detailed as some of the things I have to put stuffing in, so I have no reason to pull out my poking stick, which I'm going to anyway. It's a chopstick, one of the ones that like you have to break in half, so it's got like the bigger end over here. There we go. Tore apart a pair of chopsticks and then used one of my many knives to just get the like splinters off the end here, and then I just use it to shove the stuffing into small spaces. It's great when I'm doing like arms and stuff. I like Argic's reset stick, honestly. For those who don't know, Argic is a Sonic speedrunner, and when he has to reset his Sega Genesis, he just has a long stick that he uses to hit the reset button. Alright, there we go. His mouth's a little weird, because I didn't know what I was doing, but you know what? That's okay. He's gonna be cute no matter what. Alright, I gotta reach behind here because my pincushion is behind the computer, and I need to get one of my needles. Alrighty. Now, one problem there is with Big Twist Posh and a lot of the like blanket yarns is that if you pull too hard, it will snap. And that's a problem when you're trying to sew something up. Hopefully that doesn't happen here. I finished myself. Oh yeah. We're good. Somehow we are good. Alright, and then I just tend to stick the tail in, pull it out. And I like to pull it tight as I can, so then there's a lot of like tension there, so then when I do snip it, the end just shoots right back into the plush. Ta-da! There we go. Alrighty, we've got the body of the Cactus Cat. Just gonna set it up here on top of my baffle board for my microphone. Alrighty. Oh, that looks complicated. We're not doing that on stream. I am not good with embroidery, and what you're supposed to do next is right here with some darker green yarn, you're supposed to put a little upside down triangle for the nose, and I'll do that later. When these get done, I'll put the pictures up on my Instagram, which Bangpath Insta will pull that up. You shouldn't need to because that thing's been going off like every 5 minutes. We'll have to adjust the time on that. Alright. Okay. Tail. We got a tail to make. So this one starts with 6 in a magic ring. Four, 5, 6. If we do finish this today, I'll have to figure out what to do next. Okay. My loop here got a little big, so I didn't want to pull that so it's a little bit tighter. This will probably be something that I'll need to use the poke and stick for when I'm stuffing things. Okay. Alrighty, so we're doing 2 single crochets and then an increase around to bring us up to 12 stitches on here. Okay, and then we're just going to do 2 rows around. Oh, cute little tail so far. I'm going to pull this up a little bit because I tend to hold my crocheting up a little high, and I want the hand cam to be useful. Bandit has left the rug. Good boy, that's what you're supposed to scratch on. I have a little set of carpeted stairs that my bed's up pretty high because I use it underneath for storage. And 2 of our cats are getting old. Bandit's the youngest. He's going to be 5 on Thursday. And then both Pepper and Ziggy are like 14, I want to say. Let me think here. No, I take that back. They're both like going to be 11 or 12 maybe. No, wait, they're going to be 13 because I got Pepper in 2014 and she was 2 at the time. So, yeah. Good boy. You playing with your bag? You play with that crinkle bag, you adorable little guy. Tally is 10. I need to brain to remember. Yeah, it's getting late in the day for braining. Especially after working all day, so. I was right. I need one more stitch. Alright, we got a cute little start of a cactus tail here. Wow, Basil's that young, huh? I always want to think that he's the older one for some reason. I think it's because you got him. I think you got him first. I am probably wrong about that. I usually am. It's okay to be wrong. Just correct yourself and move on. Murph? I know, I'm not out in the living room. I'm still at my desk and you're upset. Mom's trying a new thing, so if you want to get in on this, come jump up on the computer. Got Tally 3 weeks into my relationship with Alex. Basil we got in November 2020. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Two decrease, single crochet, to increase. Single crochet. And then decrease. It's gonna make a little wobbly little cactus arm tail. That's gonna be cute. Okay. 2 decrease. 2 increase. Decrease. Single crochet. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need my poking stick to get this stuffed in. So, okay, reach behind me, grab some stuffing, and of course grab the poking stick. I used to try and do this with a crochet hook. Even the like non-hooked end will just pull the stuff right back out. Chopsticks work really well. I like these ones because this side is bigger than this side, and it works really well for pushing the stuff in. All right, that's cute. Get a little more in there. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, single crochet around. Your stitch marker. I need you. Add a little bit more stuffing in after I get done crocheting, because there's like a little gap right here where they're like, yeah. Fix that later. Okay. So how about this weather we've been having if you're in Wisconsin? It's supposed to possibly snow later tonight and then 65 degrees tomorrow. I can feel the migraine brewing. It's not going to be fun. Oh, I'm so sorry, Nova. Go, boy, go. He's like running like a crazy person back and forth in the hallway. Okay, increase, single crochet, 2 decrease, single crochet, and then increase. And I have to do that twice. Keeps sounding like he's right behind me, but he's not. Okay. Oh, you know what? I did that last row wrong. I think I was reading a row above. That's okay. These things happen. Okay. Increase a single crochet, 2 decrease. I added an extra increase in where I didn't need to. That explains why it was looking weird. Hi, welcome back. Good boy, scratching on what you're supposed to. Okay. Single crochet, then increase. There we go. That's what that's supposed to look like. And now we do it again. Increase, single crochet, 2 decrease. One of the funniest things you can do is give a crochet pattern to somebody who has no idea what it says and try and get them to figure it out. To deck, to ink, deck. That's what people will say. And every once in a while, Kit will send me these reels on Instagram that say basically that, and I just read off what it says. All right, gotta put some more stuffing in because then we'll be doing the last of the decreases for the tail. Ooh, look how wavy it is. That's so cute. All right, got a little bit of fuzz left here, so I can just shove that in. That honestly should be just the right amount. There we go. Yep, I understand that one too. Single crochet, 2 together. All right, and then this one is 4 decreases. So 2. Something has gone slightly wrong. My best attempt at phonetically spelling that out. I got it, don't worry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I hear you making noise over there. Mom's working. Get this channel popular enough, and then I don't have to go back to my other job. That's one thing I really appreciate about streamers like Reynardeus Jr., who is just like, I am the outlier. I got super lucky, and that's the only reason I am able to do this full time. Like, he's not discouraging people from streaming, he's discouraging people from believing that they can just go onto Twitch and become an instant celebrity and such. Alright. Look at that tail. That is so cute. Bring it down here so you guys can see it. There we go. So then, yeah, I'm guessing like that. Okay, what do we got next? The feet. Oh good, these ones are easy. I gotta make the same thing 4 times, which is always fun and boring. Gets harder and harder to make it as a content creator as more and more people. Yeah, I mean, I would like it to happen. I don't believe it will. Here's the thing. If this somehow ends up supporting my yarn habit, like if I could do quote unquote the dream, it would be that my shop would do well enough that between that and like streaming on Twitch, I wouldn't have to work at my regular job. Yeah, that is correct. Like, you don't want to think of them as competition, but in the end, on Twitch, they are. But that's okay. Like, even if you don't see them as competition and they don't even do the same stuff as you, people can only watch one thing at a time. Well, that's not true. People can have multiple windows open and technically be watching multiple things at a time, but they're only going to really engage with one. All right. These are going to be short, nubby legs. When Kit and I first started streaming, we were part of a like a stream team that encouraged you to have multiple streams for people on the team up at once, and then I think Twitch did something to make it so that it wouldn't count unless you were active. I don't remember. This was a long time ago. I think my husbando fell asleep. I don't want to wake him, but he hates napping. Husbando! Wake up! There, I've helped. Doing my part to help you wake up your husband. Did it work? Did it work? Did I wake him? Nope, still storm. Do you want me to try again? How many rounds of this? 3. Okay. Okay, I will not try again. I'm glad I don't have to figure out how to stuff these because these are some nubby little legs. Yes, I hear you making noise over there. You're gonna have to wait. I'm honestly really surprised he's not like trying to jump up on here because he does that during my workday. Usually how my workday is. So here and here, if you can see my arms, are my 2 work monitors. Over here is the work laptop. Usually right down here where I have my coffee set up right now is my iPad so that I can read patterns and stuff. And over here is usually nothing. Did you see him? Good boy. He's in the bed that I bought for the desk that I put over. Anyway, usually nothing over here. Here is where the cats jump up. So if I happen to have my messaging app open on my iPad, people will get interesting messages. Okay, scissors. I always overestimate how much yarn I need to sew things on, but I would rather overestimate than underestimate. So there. We have our first tiny little leg. Now to make 3 more. Okay, good. Bandit's just watching out the window. He's chilling now. Good job, boy. Okay. So I'm playing Animal Crossing again in my spare time. Like every now and then I'll just decide to nuke my old island and make a new one. And I've done that. Just to make sure that there's no confusion, this one is named Hydro Space City. If you know, you know. Yeah. And when I was in New York visiting family, my kid's sibling told me about Treasure Islands, so I finally went and found some of those, and my god, those are amazing. I kept reading people like, no, that's cheating. I'm like, yeah, and? Look, I fully believe that when you do your first playthrough of a game like Animal Crossing, you should do it as vanilla as possible. I've already done that. Now I want extra money and the ability to make my house really cool. All right, see you later, Nova. Tell Husbando I said hi if you ever wake him up. I'm only probably going to be here for about another half an hour. I just want to see how much of this cactus kitty I can get done tonight. Yay! Hi. Have a good night. Okay. The legs are the easy part, at least. So, for those who don't know, this is my first stream of this type. I've done video game streams with my fiance. I've done baking streams with my fiance. I've done baking streams as part of charity things. I'm actually talking to somebody about doing one in May. I gotta figure out what to make though, because the fundraiser is for juvenile diabetes. It used to be the juvenile diabetes. What are you doing back there? Hey, stop attacking the curtains. How dare you? I'm watching you. Anyway, it used to be called the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation, but I think they changed the name. Anyway, I'll have to figure out something. Bandit, knock it off. Thank you. I will have to figure out something sugar-free to make, which, despite myself being a type 2 diabetic, I am really bad at. I have such a sweet tooth, it's so hard. And a lot of the sugar substitutes either give me migraines or just make me sick to my stomach, so I try to have less of regular than have no regular at all and try and supplement. It doesn't always work, but you gotta do what works for you. I mean, it works for me, but it doesn't work for me, if you know what I mean. Alrighty. We're on leg 3. We can do this. Bandit, I will kick you out. I don't want to just be silent while I'm sitting here, so I'm going to tell you guys the story of Bandit. Bandit is a pandemic baby. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got him in June of 2020. It was kind of a sad day because Katie's cat Elwood, he was an old guy, had some health problems. We unfortunately had to let him go. Cross the Rainbow Bridge, however you want to put it. And originally we were thinking we'll just stay with our 2 cats, with Pepper and Ziggy, it'll be fine. And then we found out that both of us were independently of each other looking at cats in humane societies and at the SPCA, and so we were like, okay, we're getting a 3rd cat. So we went to a local humane society in Janesville, Wisconsin, and they had a bunch of kittens, and we're like, you know what, we would like a kitten, it would be nice. Ziggy is always trying to play with Pepper, and Pepper doesn't play with him, so if we get a kitten, it'll be somebody Ziggy can play with. Maybe Pepper will calm down a little bit. Pepper is the most anxious cat. I'm pretty sure she has some sort of anxiety that we just haven't figured out what it is to get her the proper medication for it. So, on that day, it was actually the day of we were doing a streamer anniversary for Skulls and Cupcakes, which is our video game channel that I do with my wife. And we drove down to Janesville, and we were looking at. We had our eyes on this one little. I think it was either a tuxedo. There was a tuxedo cat named Oreo, I think, because all tuxedo cats get named Oreo. But then there was an orange cat named Cheeto, and we were kind of in love with him. But Cheeto was gone by the time we got there. So as we're driving down, I've got the website up on my phone, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, this little guy named Booker, he looks really cute. And when we were at a stoplight, I showed it to Katie, and she's like, "Yeah, he does look cute. If he's there, we'll take a look at him." So we get there, and we say we want to look at the kittens, and we would like to see Booker. And the lady who was on duty there was like, "Okay, just so you know, he's very very shy around people. So if he doesn't open up to you right away, don't worry about it. It might just take him a little bit." We're like, "Oh, okay, that's fine. Calm cat, that'd be great." She brings Booker into the room, and automatically he like goes over to Katie's feet and starts playing with her shoelaces. And I have a toy in my hand. He starts like batting at the toy and everything. Basically, it was like, "Oh, hey, moms, where the hell have you been?" And he was the only cat we looked at that day because he was just perfect. We had a huge list of names that we were considering to give the kitten when we found it. Bandit was one that I thought of as we were driving to Janesville, and Bandit is what he went with, and it has ended up being a very apt name because he will try and steal everything from you. He'll try and grab your drink, he'll try and grab your food. But yeah, he's a good little sweetheart. I can't imagine life without him, to be honest. Sadly, Pepper and Ziggy do not play with him as much as we were hoping they do. But oh, hey, Pepper! Hi. You want to come over here? Hey, sweetheart. Come here. Come here. 1 second, internet. Oh, are you gonna leave? Okay. Sorry, guys. She left. She gets very skittish about things, and my chair hit something metallic, so that scared her away. I'm gonna move that so maybe next time she comes over, we can get her to. Honestly, she'll probably jump up here, knock over the cameras, and step on the keyboard, because you know how cats are. But yeah, Pepper and Ziggy don't really. Occasionally, they will play with Bandit, but it's not very often. And you know what? That's okay. We play with Bandit. We have this ridiculous cat toy. It looks like a piece of bacon, and it moves, so it's like motion sensitive. So you tap it and it starts wiggling around, and he loves that thing. He taught himself how to play fetch. The vet that we use, they always have these sparkly pom-poms for sale, and he loves those. And he will pick one up, bring it over to you, and go bleh, and then stare at you expectantly until you throw it. He'll go after it and then bring it back. Taught himself how to do this. It's beautiful. He'll also sit for treats, which hopefully I can figure out how to show that on camera someday. Oh, thank goodness I'm on the last foot. Going to be a lot of sewing on this one. I try and do as many no to low sew patterns as I can just because I am terrible at sewing things together. It doesn't matter what I do. I have plushie sticks like these. So it looks like a knitting needle because it is. It's just a double pointed knitting needle that somebody put some cute beads on, and then you use them, which I can actually show you with this guy here. So here's his leg, and then I shove the stick in, and then it holds the leg still and in place while I sew it around. I still manage to screw it up. Just how I am. I try. I try so hard and I get so far, and in the end it doesn't even matter. Okay. Alright, we are on a flower, which is a completely different color yarn. Okay. Oh, the ears are going to be interesting because apparently I have to crochet them right onto the guy. What else do I have? Okay, we are almost at assembly, which is amazing. So, hold on. Let me find the right yarn. Here we go. All right. So this is Big Twist Posh in pink pitaya? Pitaya? I don't know how to pronounce that. Pitaya. I don't know. Okay, so for this we're making a flower. Flowers are cool. I like flowers. My favorite flower is sunflowers. Sunflowers and yellow roses. Okay. This is hardly worth showing on the internet because it's going to be super easy. So, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And is that as many as I need? Yes, okay. Hey, remember what I was saying earlier about it breaking if you pull too hard? It happened, but we're okay. Okay, that actually turned out super cute. Little flower, which I believe is like going to go up in the little guy's head. Or maybe it goes on the tail. I've looked at this pattern. I don't remember anything about it. Ooh, coffee break. Once again, today's coffee is Collectivo's Blue Healer blend. It's one of my favorites. All right. So now we've got to put the ears on, which should be interesting in and of itself. I'm gonna reach back here and grab my pin cushion, which is a little cupcake I crocheted, but I didn't like the yarn that I made it with, so I just decided to use it as a pin cushion. It works great. All right, so if you're just joining us, my pattern is over here, so I'm just looking at that every now and then to make sure I know what I'm doing. I mean, that's not going to help me much, but okay. Please watch the instructional video. That's not happening. I'm on Twitch right now. I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I should make something that I've already made so I know what I'm doing. Nah, that's too easy. Okay, so use pin to mark ear positions from row 4 to row 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. One, two, three, 4. Do I have it? I have just enough pins for this. Nice. 5. 6. Okay. Just looking back and forth between the picture on here and what I've done, I've definitely kind of done this right. I think that looks right. So where these pins are, me just, there we go. Oh, wait, I have a thing down here. So these pins here, I'm going to start crocheting down here and then work my way up to make the ear. Will it work? You never know until you try. So, all right. Okay, left ear, which is this ear, right? I mean, when I'm looking at it, this would be the right ear. So left ear's down here. Okay. This will either end great or end horribly, but you know what? We're having fun along the way. Okay. Attach the light green yarn to round 7. So, where did I put the light green yarn? Hi, Pepper. Have you come back to say hi? If you jump up here, try not to break anything, okay? I don't know if Pepper's going to be able to get up here. All right. Okay, so single crochet, pulling these pins out as I go, half double crochet, okay, double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet in, okay, and when I first started crocheting, I had a real problem with sewing bits onto my guys because they had faces and I felt really bad stabbing something with a face. Okay. It's a little weird, but you know what? So am I. This is the first one of these I've made, so it's bound to look a little odd. Okay. And scissors. Alright, it doesn't say to do this, but I am a paranoid person, so the end that I started with and then the end that I just finished, I'm just going to tie them together before I weave them into my project. Just, you know, for the sake of my own sanity. Alrighty. Oh, missed one. There we go. Got some stuffing pulled out, so I'm going to use my poke and stick to push that back in there. Alright. There. He's a little weird looking, but you know what? He's cute. Alright, so for this one, I want to start at row 4 and go down, right? For the right ear? Yes, okay. So we're doing this pretty much the same way we did the last one. Where's my green? Single crochet, half double, double crochet, chain 2, half double, and second chain from hook. Another double in the same space. I always try and do, when I do a new pattern, I always try and do it exactly as it says, but I'm looking at this and I'm already seeing ways I could make some changes, so I will probably make those when I do that in the future. And then, did you see? And then this one's the last single crochet. Alright, he's not perfect, but you know what? I don't care. Somebody is gonna love this little guy. Alright, so pull that tight. My starting tail didn't make it all the way to the end with me, which is okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna weave it down so I can tie them together again and then get them into my, like weave them into the rest of the project. Okay, so there we go. Tie that off. The ears are definitely a little wonky, but you know what? Again, I don't care. It's taken a while for me to get to the point where I'm not a super perfectionist about everything I do. Like, I've only recently gotten to the point where if I find a mistake that I did like 2 or 3 rows back, if it's not super noticeable, I won't go back and try and fix it. It used to be I didn't care if it was super noticeable or not, I had to go back and fix it. I don't do that as much anymore. Oh, this one tail didn't want to go all the way in, so I'll have to do that again. Perfection is okay, but at the same time, you gotta realize you're not always gonna reach it. Most of the time, you won't reach it. I don't like the saying practice makes perfect. I prefer practice makes progress. So the more you practice, the better you're gonna get at something. Alright. Oh my gosh, what have I done? I've made something weird. Okay. He is so cute. Like I said, the ears are a little bit wonky, but I don't care. He's so adorable. Alright. Okay, it is almost 5 o'clock, and I was gonna stop at 5, but, what do we got for, assembly? Okay. I do need to go back and put the little, nose here. So, like, there's supposed to be a little, like, dark green nose right here in the middle. But you know what? I think we've done really good today, so I think I'm gonna call it here. I won't finish this guy until we get on stream again, so next stream will be a lot of just assembling him, but he turned out super cute. Anyway, I don't have anybody to raid or anything because I don't really have a lot of people that I follow right now. I'm gonna have to look around and find some more crafters, but thank you so much for hanging out with me for the last couple hours. I really enjoyed it. I don't know how often I'm gonna do this. I mean, like, part of me's like, yeah, do it every day. The other part of me is like, start out with once a week and see how that goes. So, if I'm feeling good tomorrow, we'll come back to this tomorrow. If not, we'll go for at least once a week. So, thank you so much. Follow me on Instagram, Cryptids, Cuties, and Chaos. My Etsy store is also Cryptids Cuties Chaos. There wasn't enough room for the word and, but there's nothing there right now. I'm working on it. All right. Thank you again for hanging out with me, and I'll see you later. Bye.